Oh, they did a good job of wrapping this up.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Spence and Marissa here with Core 4x4. Today we're back in the studio. It's been a little bit crazy with the move and everything, but now we are finally starting to get to come back to our XJ series over here.
Yeah, and if you haven't been watching, we have done a lot to this thing. It started as a rusty heap.
Pretty rusty,
severely sun damaged, and now it's almost off-road worthy. Yeah. I mean, it is right now, but it's pretty ugly and it needs some accessories. We've done a 4-inch lift kit. We've slapped some 35-inch tires that I had laying around on this thing. We did the long arm upgrade.
Oh, yep.
The big one was the WJ knuckle swap, and the most recent was the Rhino line. Now, there's still a long ways to go with this Jeep, but today we're gonna start with some of the accessories. And what I'm really excited about is to put a front bumper on this thing. I mean, it's looking sad, yeah. So I'm excited to start offering bumpers at Core 4x4. We've partnered up with DirtBound Offroad, and today we're gonna showcase one of their bumpers that I really like for the XJ. So let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna take this over to the main shop and get it in the blast room and get this prepped for powder coat. And then we're gonna do our primer, and then we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do orange on this. I've always wanted to do a little bit of a ridiculous XJ, and that's what this Jeep is turning into. So we're gonna do orange bumpers, maybe even orange wheels when we get to it. It's gonna look a little crazy, it's gonna stand out, but that's kind of the point of this build. So let's get over to the shop, get this prepped up, and get it into powder. Well, this is 70 pounds. I can carry it by ourselves. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Gotta do it somehow, huh?
How fun is it to blast bumpers?
It's not.
Yeah, it sucks, huh?
It's terrible.
Oh yeah.
She's a beaut.
So are these your favorite things to powder coat, Nate?
They're super fun.
Yeah? Yeah. Bumpers freaking suck. Beautiful. All right.
Beautiful. Throw it on.
Okay, yeah, that's not light. And now we're back over here. I want to make sure we have everything. All right, we are back from the shop, and the powder coating turned out great. I'm super happy with it. Now, I understand not everybody has a blast room and a powder coating oven in your backyard. But trust me, I have done this in my driveway, in my garage, on jack stands, rattle canning. I understand the pain. I do want to emphasize though that your prep work when coating something like this is the most important step in the process. Please make sure your steel is clean with an acetone or a degreaser, and then sand or scuff every surface you can find on this, and that is going to go such a long way to having a really good finish that's going to be durable and is going to last long. The last thing I'd recommend or point out is that make sure that you have a UV stable paint. This is out in the sun. This is why we put a clear coat on this, because it's going to get a lot of sun. Most of your Rust-Oleums or rattle cans are going to fade, so you can also do a clear. That really helps make it last a lot longer. I do recommend a black that's really easy to touch up with any rattle can from almost any store. At core, we kind of like orange. So it's in a lot of our videos. The long arm's orange, the shackle's orange, the bumpers, the wheels, it's gonna be orange. So before we get into install, I wanted to talk a second about DirtBound's products. Now for this version of the bumper, they do have a do-it-yourself weldable kit. That's probably a lot cheaper and faster to get. We did opt to have them weld it up for us, and they did a great job. DirtBound has done several things to solve some of the problems that aftermarket bumpers have, in my opinion, on XJs, and one of the main ones is that the unibody mounts are really thin and don't have a lot of support. So they do include these frame braces, which I am really happy to see. I really like this, and I'm excited to put these on. Their hardware is pretty straightforward. It should be a very simple bolt-on setup. You can weld these. We're not going to weld these today. We're just going to bolt everything together. And we are going to put together the grill, the headlight trim, and some of the stuff we took off to Rhino line, just to start really putting this Jeep back together and kind of wrapping up the series. Let's get to putting this bumper on and let's see how it looks. All right, so now that we've put some of the front end and the trim back together, we can finally get to mounting this bumper. Now, I wanted to start on the driver's side front here because this is the more intensive bracket to install. These took a little figuring out, but they do bolt up just like this. Now, we have one more bolt left to take out, and we'd done a lot of this teardown on our past videos when we took apart the bumper, took apart everything else. But this last bolt is the last bolt holding our steering box on. Now, DirtBound does include 3 new bolts to replace these. So we're going to do one here, and then one back up in here. But I wanted to show you to be aware of that as you're taking apart all your bolts and taking your bumper off, that you do have to basically take your steering box completely off to put these frame braces on. Okay, so our steering box is hanging on there. We're going to get to bolting these plates up, but when I pulled that bolt out, a ton of rust came out. And over at the studio, this is our air compressor. So we're gonna blow out these holes. Oh yeah. And just clean them up the best we can. And because we really don't want everything rusting in place right away, we're gonna just put some Freol in the holes just to keep them, you know, fresh. All right, so this driver's side frame bracket goes right here to help support everything. Now these are your 3 bumper mount holes. And then these 3 holes back here are those same steering box holes we talked about. So the one we just took out, we're gonna replace with this longer bolt from DirtBound. We're gonna get all these started and then we'll zip them in. Now this might have been easier in the air, but we're gonna fight it on the ground a little bit because we're stubborn. So for now, we're just gonna snug everything up on this side. We'll get the other side to a similar point. Then Marissa and I will mock up the bumper and just see how everything's gonna sit. If we can still hit these bolts while the bumper's installed, we'll do all our final tightening after we have it up. and have it where we want it. So I'm pretty happy with this for mock-up. I'm gonna get the other side to a similar point, and then really we'll just do our mock-up and see where we're at. So now we're moving on to the passenger side. With the hardware included, there's nothing really to hold this in place, and we may come back and weld it at a later date. Maybe we were supposed to reuse these bolts, and the bolts I did put in the steering box were supposed to come with nuts. I don't know, but we are gonna just mock this up here, get the bumper on, and I'm gonna run to the hardware store to get 3 long bolts to go through the frame, just to have it nice and firmed up, just like the other side. So we got the bumper all mocked up. It's sitting a little front heavy right now. I grabbed a few of these long 7/16 that match the, what's it called? The steering pump bolts. And these will go all the way through the frame. There's gonna be one that goes through here, here, and then up inside there. You probably can't see, it's towards the front. But on my XJ here, we have a bit of a lip on this back bolt hole on both sides. So I'm just gonna grab the drill bit real quick and run a drill through to open that up, get these 3 bolts in, and then on each side, we're gonna have 6 bolts total holding this bumper in place. And I think it's gonna be great. There we go. Let's get this bolted up. Tighten these other bolts up. There, looks about. Go up a little more.
So other than, you know, having to kind of run and get a couple bolts because we weren't 100% sure if it came with everything, we're finished. Wasn't that long. Just put a few bolts in and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. And honestly, the bolts, it was a month and a half ago when we took apart the whole front end. I'm pretty sure I just lost them.
Yeah.
So we got all the bolts in. The most important thing is we do have 6 bolts on either side, which is what I love about their brackets, is having that extra just attachment to the unibody and to really firm up the front end. I've always been nervous with aftermarket bumpers on the XJ that only attach to those 3 mounts that you have that the factory bumper mounts on. Moves, torque everything down.
Oh, I climbed on it while you were gone. It's
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's sturdy. I'm super stoked to be working with DirtBound and to finally be carrying some more accessories for the Cherokees and even the other Jeeps. And DirtBound, it's another American-made company. They're in Minnesota. They do all their own stuff. Max is awesome. Reach out with any questions. Check out their stuff. We'll have this bumper and the rear one when we get it linked down in the description. And hopefully we'll be carrying a lot more of their products. Their new ones, it's called the Highline bumper. I haven't really seen it yet. I think I saw a mock-up. It looked really good. We're gonna do it in orange again to match the front.
Duh.
Yeah, we like orange here.
Yes.
And if you hate the color, let us know.
I love it.
I don't know what it is. I have 2 orange Jeeps, an orange truck, an orange bike. It's just easier.
It's just, yeah.
Monochrome. Anyways, if you like what we're doing, if you like the Cherokee build, if you have any feedback, please comment down below. We love making these videos. And every like, comment, and subscription really helps us out. And we'll catch you in the next one.